to my channel. Yes, it has been a minute. A lot has been going on, so I haven't been having the time to record and update you guys on YouTube about my Loc journey. But if you follow me on Instagram, Mrs. C Joy, I do share my journey up there, but I haven't really gone in depth about my journey and how it's going so far since my 3-month Loc journey. So this is going to be filled with great updates, great information. I'm going to try to keep this short, just give you great points and advice that I get often, questions that I get often, things that could help you along your Loc journey if you're starting off or you're thinking about starting your Locs. So with that being said, stay tuned for my, I believe this is my 7th month, going on 8-month Loc journey update. So far I am 7 months locked, and I started with 2-strand twist in March 15th. I got it done in Atlanta. Shout out to my girl Ebony for starting my Locs. I started with 2-strand twist and I started with long hair. So basically my hair is up here right now, but I started with hair probably down to bra length. Yes, so my hair was definitely long and she didn't cut any of it either. So it just really shrunk up. So that shows you how much shrinkage goes into play when you're starting your Locs. So I started with 2-strand twists, started with long hair. I had 79 Locs starting off, but I combined some in the front, being that the front of my hair is very soft and not as thick as the back and the middle of my hair. So I combined some of the front ones because I didn't want my Locs too thin in the front, just preventing any thinning or falling out of Locs. I've heard that happen to many people before. And I just want them a little bit thicker. So I combined those, so now I have 75 Locs so far. So after I started my Locs, started 2-strand twist, 75 Locs, I went to a loctician in Virginia. Her name is Locs by Journey, and she kind of maintained my Locs for a little bit. And what she did, because I started with 2-strand twist, she made sure that my 2 strands were tight, so there were no holes in them, so they were easily mat together and locked together. And I think that's what helped my hair lock faster. Also, because in the back of my hair too, in my previous video, I stated that my hair does mat very fast. So if my hair is touching and it's close, and it's curly too, so my hair automatically mats. So it didn't take long for my hair to start locking right away. Probably in that 2.5 month, I could tell it was starting to lock. Even though it was still curly, you can still see that curl pattern. It was definitely locking. But everyone is different. Everyone's hair locks different because of the texture of your hair too. I think that plays a part of how your Locs lock. So, you know, just be prepared for that. It may not be as soon as you think. It may be longer. It may be a year, 6 months, 9 months. It just depends. Some people can't wait that long, and I've heard of people interlocking, but I really didn't want to go that way. I just wanted it to naturally lock on its own because I know it will. So I think I may just continue to let it lock on its own. But for the most part, it's locked, you know. The only trouble I would say I've been having because of my texture pattern is the front. The front has been a challenge, I will not lie. And I say a challenge because when I wash my hair, the front will kind of start to unravel, and it gets very frizzy when it starts to unravel. It's basically not even a twist anymore. So I would have to, usually with the front, I would have to retwist every 3 weeks just about, because literally the front would come undone. not the bottom part. The bottom part is pretty much locked. It's usually in the front. So like this much will come unlocked. So it's just, and then this part at the end will be locked. And it just, I didn't like it. It didn't look cute. If I did have that problem, I would have to like have a headband on so you couldn't see the unraveling parts. But that has been a challenge with me so far. So I noticed that I have to make sure that I retwist that every 3 weeks just to keep it locked. And I know eventually my hair will understand that it's doing a swirl of a pattern. It's going to be bind together, and I'm sure it will be locked. But you know, it is what it is. But that's one challenge that I have come across throughout this process so far. Alright, so now I will talk about my wash routine. Usually I wash my hair once every 2 weeks, and I retwist, like I said, in the front every 3 weeks, and then in the back and the middle I would retwist 4 to 6 weeks, depending on how I feel and how it looks and how much new growth I have. Usually I really don't twist a lot in the back. No one can really see my new growth, and I don't want to retwist too much too, because that can cause thinning as well because of my textured hair. My hair is not very fine, but it's not as thick or kinky or coily as other black women. So I just make sure that I don't retwist often, and just when I need it. Usually I can tell when it's time. The frizz does not go away. I think that's gonna be here to stay, honestly, with my frizz. Especially when my new growth starts to grow in, it's gonna be frizzed. Honestly, it is what it is. So if you can't take the frizz, you may wanna reconsider starting your locks, or even continue with locking. So the products that I use, very simple. I kind of went over some of the products that I use in a previous video, so if you want to check that out, you can. That's kind of like all the products that I recommend or I love to use. But the main products that I use so far now are the Dr. Bronners, Peppermint, and Eucalyptus. I use those two daily, and I use the apple cider shampoo, clarifying shampoo that I use also, which is really good. I'll have the links of those products below. And after I wash my hair, I don't use any conditioner. I know some people use conditioner for the locks, but for me personally, I don't. Reason being is, one, I didn't want the conditioner to lock in my hair. I really didn't want extra product buildup in my hair, so I really don't use conditioner. And two, I didn't want it to make the front of my hair even looser, you know, because conditioner makes your hair even soft, easier to detangle. That's not what I want. I want it to tangle, I want it to lock up. So I don't use any conditioner at all. That type of conditioner, I should say. But after I wash my hair with my cleansers, I use my oils, and that is my conditioners. So the oils that I use regularly are the almond oil, tea tree, rosemary, and lemon essential oil. And I usually mix that up. Maybe I'll have a recipe and put it on my website of the recipe that I use, and I kind of mix those together and I put it in a spray bottle, and I just basically spray it all throughout my hair, especially in the front where it gets dry the most. And that's where I see a lot of my dry scalp in the front. So I would definitely make sure I get the front. And if I need some extra oil, I use almond oil with castor oil. And the castor oil I like because it's very thick, so it makes my locks really shiny, and it gives it a nice good hold. So I definitely like using that as well. And when I'm retwisting my locks, I like to use the Dr. Locs retwisting spray. Amazing. I love that spray so much. It's light, it smells good, it's not a gel, it won't leave a cast on your locks, so you don't have to think about the buildup, because I know that can definitely happen when you use a lot of different types of gels and butters and creams. I do not use any of that in my hair. If you do, that's cool, but I just try to keep it as natural as possible. And I love to do an ACV rinse, apple cider vinegar rinse, monthly. I do this monthly. Sometimes I'll let it sit in my hair and I just put a shower cap on my head, or I will actually dip my head in a bucket or basin and let it soak and, you know, squeeze out the buildup or dirt, debris, anything like that. And I'll do that once a month. That has definitely helped my locks to stay clean, smell good, have my locks lightweight, that my locks are not heavy or anything like that. So I owe it to my ACV rinses, and I did. One last thing I get a lot of questions or a lot of love on about my locks is the bumps and the lumps and the thickness of my hair. And honestly, I can owe it, I think, the reason my hair came out this way and how it looks. You can see those little lumps everywhere. I think it was because I started with long hair. I think that's why I have these little lumps and bumps. If you can see that, lumps and bumps in my hair, is because, like I said, I started with long hair. So what my hair did is it shrunk up, and it, being my hair is curly, it curled and it bumped certain ways. And it's just the thickness of my hair, because I had so much hair. I had very long hair and it shrunk up, and this is, I believe this is the reason for it. If I would have started with short hair, I think it would have been a more unified look. I think, I'm not sure, this is my hypothesis, but I think it would have been more unified and more of a cool, consistent look than me starting with long hair. So I'm kind of glad I started with long hair, because it's different. It's not the same. You know, some people want their locks perfect, and that's fine. Perfect parts, you know, everything neat. But with me, I wanted to kind of be semi-natural, you know, natural flowing, letting my hair lock on its own, letting my hair do what it wants to do. So that's probably why my hair is thick. So I know a lot of women look for those thick locks, and I think that's one of the reasons why my hair is thick. So don't go into it starting your locks thinking your hair is gonna come out thick, unless your parts, if you have big parts, then it would more than likely be thick, because my parts are not really thick. And honestly, I really don't have thick hair. I mean, I have thick hair, but the texture of my hair makes it thin, if that makes sense. I don't have a lot of hair follicles, that's it. I don't have a lot of hair follicles, but my hair is, it's pretty thick. So that's probably why you see these pretty little lumps and bumps in it. So I think as my loc journey goes on, I think it's just going to be a lot, the bumps at the end, and it's going to be straight. You see that? You see, it's going to be straight from now on. As I retwist, I think it's just going to be a straight look from now on. So until next time, thank you for tuning in, and have a blessed day. Peace, love, and blessings, guys. Bye.